Hello everyone, today's topic is going to be related with Jenkins installation, and this topic of this new video is based on some feedback that I'm getting from the subscribers. And I started using creating videos related with Jenkins the Clarity pipeline, and the one requirement for those videos are Jenkins has to be installed. So they are asking me about how you can install Jenkins from zero, how you can add Jenkins agents to your configuration. So I started this new video series of videos related with Jenkins configuration. So let's start. Today's topic is going to be installing Jenkins, and before you install Jenkins, you should read all the configurations, all the requirements for hardware, all the requirements for software. What do you need before you start Jenkins? You need memory. You need to know how many users. For today's video, we are going to do it pretty simple, but that's something that you need to be aware of when you're going to start Jenkins. So for this video, I'm going to use EC2, AWS, but you can use any other cloud provider, or you can do it even in your own local machine, or you can do it in your server, whatever you want. So let's start with, if you never saw or never used AWS before, I'm also giving you a background about AWS. I'm gonna use Ubuntu server 1804 LTS for 64 architecture. Um, I tried before with Studio Micro, and it doesn't meet the requirements, so I'm gonna use something like large. It's gonna be really nice performance here, and I don't have to configure anything here. I'm gonna do 30. I won't need it, but this is something that you also need to be aware of when you are doing this for your development environment. It's gonna be different to your other production environment, that kind of thing. You have to be aware and do planning before I start doing this. So let's name it Jenkins. We can use any other role. We can do role master. It's pretty nice when it's a good practice when you're creating resource in the cloud. You should use that because that help you to organize really nice your your components in the cloud, and then you can do filters, and then you can do a lot of stuff. It's a good practice. Let's say I'm creating a new security group. It's going to be Jenkins role, Jenkins master security group, only Jenkins master security group. Let's say that one. I'm gonna use my IP address for access to 2020, and it's gonna be a custom IP for the 8080 because that is gonna be our address, and it's gonna be my IP also. If you're doing this on your local machine, you don't require because you already have access to your environment, and then you're gonna be loading or browsing the your local host and then port 8080. Let's see. Let's finish. If you are creating your first key, you should use create new one, type the name, download it in the and store it in some place that because we're gonna use it later. I already have mine created here. Let's say I'm gonna use this one. You can use whatever name you want, but just save it in some place because we're gonna use it later uh, to connect to the EC2 instance. Right now it's starting, the machine is booting. Let's see. This one is gonna take just a few seconds, but as I say, you can. That was really nice, pretty fast. Let's say if we can connect to that one. I am already here and I have my key, as you can see here. And also be sure that you have permission to only read access to that from your users. Let's connect to the server using a Jenkins. Remember, this one is the key that we downloaded before. And then Ubuntu, this one is the user when you create, sorry, an Ubuntu image. This one is the user for the Ubuntu image, and the IP address we have it already here. Let's say yes, and there we go. Let's start with doing an update for our system, and let's let's go to the step that we need to do to follow. So here we are, and let's go to, I believe in this configuration you will see all the configurations if you want to install Docker, Jenkins with Docker, but we are moving to this point where we're gonna use the war. So The first step is download the application war version, still the operating system, and support Java. So we need to install Java. And what I can do something like Java dash version. I don't have any Java version, so let's go and install. I'm gonna install the first one, but you can install any version that is supported by the Jenkins. So you need to be sure to know which version do you want to install. If you have any version already installed, you need to compare if that version is supported by your Jenkins, the Jenkins word that you downloaded. In other case, you have to do an update or add a new install um, in your environment. This one is going to be fast. Let's go and see what is the next step. The next step is downloading the war. Yes, just copy the link. I'm going to download it here. Let's try it with wget. And this is going to download the war. It's doing pretty nice. So so a couple of tips that I want to give you before this. So if you're doing this for the first time and someone asks you to do it in your environment because developers are going to use it, or you're going to be the new Jenkins administrator, it's pretty nice to get a really nice idea. So ask for component requirements, see how many users are using your Jenkins, how many jobs are running in your Jenkins. That kind of things are really required if you want to understand how your Jenkins is doing, how your performance. If you start seeing issues performance, you need to know that your Jenkins are compliant. So your system is compliant with your Jenkins requirements. Like you have to provide all the resources. So my recommendation is before doing any of this, go in really in deeply details about all the hardware recommendations, all the Java requirements. If you can see what browser capabilities, because some people say, okay, it's not loading Jenkins, or I have facing some issues with the interface. So you're going to be the Jenkins administrator. You need to know all of this. And also, it's pretty nice to have an idea before installing. If you are following all the steps and recommendations, so in that case, you can avoid some kind of troubleshooting of issues. So that's already finished. Let's start. Let's see what is the next steps. We can go to the Word file. I believe I delete this part here. It's gonna be directly there. Oh, sorry, I mistyped this one right there. Copy this. Okay. Java.jar. The Jenkins. And there you go, it's running. Of course, this one is running like as a simple script. It's just for demo, but a really professional way to do it is just create a init script or create a system service, whatever you want. Just see the service go down, you can let the Jenkins the Jenkins be enabled all the time. So this is the first time that they give you a temporary password. You can copy from here. You can also find that password in this file, in this path. Let's say if Jenkins is working already, we copy this and then we test port 8080, and there you go. Jenkins is available. Let's do the demo a little bit. Standard demo with C is already login. Okay, and there you go. I don't want to save it. Then you can select a specific plugin, so you can install the suggested one. We're gonna do the suggested one so far, but in the selected plugin, you can choose what plugin do you want to install. So my recommendation is, if you know what you're doing, if you know what is required for your team, trying to use only the plugin that you really need. So for example, if you don't have any selection, don't do it. Don't install the plugin. If you have different ways to log in, like you're not using LDAP for your users access, or manage your, maybe you are using Active Directory or whatever, that kind of things is going to help you as a system administrator, because you have plugin that you don't use, is still you're getting notification about upgrade related with plugin that you're not really using. Let's say that we are going to create Jenkins, we are going to do something really secret here, um, on the thing. but then you can change this one later. Let's say if Jenkins, and then Jenkins admin.com, or is your domain, and you specify you have already a domain for this Jenkins or subdomain. You specify here. Just keep it in this way. That's it. Jenkins is running. That's pretty basic. Wanna doing this demo. If you have any questions related with any concerns about how to configure Jenkins, any other parameters that you want to see something more complicated, just let me know. If you are using this in your project and you have any issues you want to share, you want to see something that you want to learn, just let me know and I will do the video for you. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next video.